Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I wanted to see if I found a dupe for the Modern Renaissance palette. I came across this palette from Wet n Wild. It's called Rosé in the Air from Wet n Wild, and the colors look really similar to the Modern Renaissance. This is what the Modern Renaissance looks like, and this is what Rosé in the Air. So I did notice with the Wet n Wild palette, this color right here did stain my fingers a little bit right here. Okay, so now I want to test out the palette on my eyes. I want to see how it blends. Swatching is one thing, application is a whole nother story. So what I'm going to do is attempt to do the same exact look on both eyes, just using both palettes. I'm going to use the Modern Renaissance on this side right here, and I'm going to use the Wet n Wild on this side. So I'm going to start off using the Modern Renaissance. So this is what this eye looks like using the Modern Renaissance. The colors that I mainly focused on were colors that were very similar to the Wet n Wild palette, and I wanted to keep it kind of simple. So I used a little tempera, and that's on the brow bone. I used a little bit of raw sienna and burnt orange, primavera in the inner tear duct, and on the lid I used some red ochre Venetian red. And on the lower lash line, I used a little bit of Realgar and some Cypress Umber. So let's see what this side is going to look like and how the Wet n Wild shadows perform. And it seems to be blending out really nicely. is the completed look. I did my liner, lashes, and lipstick off camera. Like I said, this wasn't a tutorial at all. I just wanted to test out this palette to see if this was a dupe for the Modern Renaissance. And honestly, I think it is. I think this palette is absolutely amazing. Again, it's called Rosé in the Air from Wet n Wild. And I believe it is $5 at Walgreens. That's where I got it. And I don't know, the palette is absolutely amazing. The shadows blended really nicely. Looking at it in camera, it looks pretty identical. Looking at it in person, this side is just slightly a little warmer. But if you're not staring at me for too long, you're not going to notice a difference, not at all. I did want to say that with this palette, this shadow right here, it did stain my fingers a little. It's not too bad, but it did stain a little bit when I was doing the swatching. But for the most part, I really do believe that this is an amazing dupe for the Modern Renaissance palette. And if it's a palette that you've been wanting to try for a while, but you don't want to spend the $40 on it, I would definitely recommend giving this a shot. So that concludes the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.